what should you do, or what is the aftercare of repotting or restarting a plant. You guys know I have restarted a lot of my Hoyas and even some orchids after the move. This was one such Dischidia that I restarted because of accidentally toppling over. However, since the vines were very long, right, I had to cut them short up to this and reinsert into the media. That's how we normally, make more of the plant. So I did that once, but here's the thing: once you fill your pot with the media and the cuttings, when you start watering, when you start fertilizing, the media will settle down and make space from the top. That's because no matter how much you do this or do this, naturally it will settle down when the plant starts rooting itself. The media will be attached, and once you start watering or fertilizing, the media will further go into the pot and create spaces from the top. First tip of aftercare is, excluding fertilizing and watering, is to fill in the gaps on the top. For that, you can take the plant again to a clear space and inspect under the leaves. Okay, so that's where you will definitely find spaces for more media, just like this. Okay, I will be inserting a small piece of charcoal onto that, just like this, to further secure. You can also see that this has dehydrated a bit, this leaves and the whole stem. Okay, it does not look as healthy as the rest of it. So that might be the reason. The media is not fully covering the roots or stabilizing that tiny cutting. When you're dealing with one node cuttings, this is a very important tip, right? One node cuttings are very small. They do not have more stems or branches to help them settle down to a side or one such place, using the other branches to stabilize itself. You have to manually stabilize it, especially when you are using very small grade media like this, lava rock and charcoal. You have to be very careful, and you have to look into each cutting and insert wherever you can, right? That's what I'm doing. At the same time, if cuttings like this are dehydrating, that's because there is a lot of stem here, a longer vine to support, when there is very less amounts of media that is holding in the roots also. Okay, because the roots are exposed and the roots will dry out very quickly even after a watering. A certain amount of water has to be in the media so the roots can use it whenever the roots want it. So here what I can do is I can take off such cuttings. Okay, like there's a huge space here. I can take this off also and insert it into the media. Before inserting, I can add them to a bowl of water. You can put a bit of Mega Thrive or Super Thrive or any other rejuvenation method that you use, and then make 2 or 3 cuttings even out of it, and then let it soak and hydrate for a while. After it hydrates, you can insert it into the main pot, or you can start a different specimen too. So normally, most of the time when most of these cuttings are dehydrating, there's no turning back. Just like these vines, I covered this earlier, right? This is my Hoya Lacunosa. I showed you 2 vines have dehydrated, and I am trying to rehydrate them by inserting those aerial roots also into the media, which I initially forgot, but realized when this was really in a bad state. So this is even declining. I might take this off, but the stem does not look dried out fully. So therefore I will leave it as it is to see if my step to insert the roots into the media worked. Therefore, my main step in aftercare would be to inspect the top of the media to see if more media is needed to cover up the roots and stabilize the vine, each individual vine safely, so they will have a stable ground to root in and grow. Especially when it comes to dehydrating vines like this, here you have to tediously inspect underneath, or just move them around, move them about and see if the media is loose. If it's loose, you can insert some more media, and if the media like charcoal, if they are very very light, you can add some pebbles onto that, or add some heavy media, right, which are not very chunky, because in this grade the top layer we usually add an even thin layer of media, okay, because the thinnest pieces of charcoal and lava rock, a bunch of them together can fill in the crevices more easily and stabilize the plants much better than you can do with large grade media. Thereafter you can go on with your usual care again, okay, with some high phosphorus fertilizer for rooting, especially when it comes to failing vines like these, and see if the plant recovers, because dischidias in my opinion are the easiest to care, especially the watermelon dischidia like this. No matter how many times this plant failed on me, it bounced back. So I know if I restart this and stabilize the top and give it the fertilizer it needs and the air movement, the plant will thrive for me. And I normally do not change its spot until it really does well. That is when you know your plant is stable, because it's doing very well. Even when you're moving, you cannot move it to an extreme condition. It has to be similar to where it was. So what I will do is I will take this back and keep this where it was, right? And when I water it, I can water it because I'll be anyway watering it in the night. Sometimes I water it in the morning if I have time. So that's how this will be kept. So guys, that's about it for the video. I promise you I will update you about my orchids and Hoyas, but they still need to recover. So I'm giving them time, and I still need to get on with my regular fertilizing regime. Otherwise I won't be able to show you a progress because my plants are just getting water now. So I hope I covered the point of this video, that is the aftercare of your restarted plant. The first step should be monitoring your plant and seeing if there are holes or spaces at the top and filling them in. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.